This is out of a Holden banjo spline one. Now I won't differentiate and do that. And it's tight there. I've had this together several times. But I just put a 5-thou shim in there. To know exactly that I'm within 5 thou, you see, of the true measurement, the adjustment. So, if I substitute these clutches for just flat washers, that are these are Belville dished. They're not dished very much, these things. See that, Matt? There's the inner part, but when you oppose them, there's hardly any preload on those particular clutches at all. But the other one we did the other week, fine spline one, I've got very dished washers. They didn't have the MEs. MEs aren't necessary. I just chopped them off this to make it easy to go in this top half, because they don't rotate or anything.
Okay.
Now I'll just take that 5-thou washer out of there, because if you don't do it this way, you're never quite sure what's right or wrong. So there's the washer there. So that's the 5. You can put it anywhere, this shim. Between the clutches, doesn't matter. On the final assembly, you put it down in there, underneath the...
So it don't get worn?
Well, it would wear away, underneath the washer. And in this case, that one has to go there. You put it either way, it doesn't really matter, spring-loaded. It's dished.
Okay.
So what you've got to do here, you've got to be careful when you're putting these together.
Yep.
Because leave that out. That is exactly the same thickness as those Belville washers. So we've got the spring one in there now. So you put one of these in, one of those, one of these, one of them, rotating one, and in the last one you put one of these, see? So now, a good idea to mark these, you can see how that's got see how that's a right angle, and that's an angle there? Because what happens is...
They ramp up, yeah. It's 1-way, 2-way, and 3-way or some shit, isn't it?
Well, that's sitting in there like that, right? So when this carrier rotates that way, imagine that's on the passenger side, the pinion's not driving it that way.
Right.
So this is driving that, which causes that to go up. See that? Clamps up that way. In reverse, it doesn't do anything.
Yes.
So you've got to be... So I just marked that with a yellow texter, so you don't put it in the wrong way, which is pretty easy to do, actually. So you line up these clutches with a pin punch, screwdriver, anything you can get hold of. So that's all right. Now the side gear goes in. There it is, it's fully down now. Because Now these, put the ears back on the little cross.
Mm.
And that one is facing upwards to where the mark is, you see. So there will be no mistake.
Mm.
Put it round the arse about way, it'll all lock up. Put that one in there. Yeah. Now, that one, that one, that one. It's the last of all one. Now you've got to get this substitute one out. And you can put this one in. Now it doesn't pinch. If you put it in that way, when you're bolting it together, it might overlap. So you put a bit of this grease in there, which stop all that.
Mm-hmm.
Bulldozer grease this shit. So now, put that in there, see, so I can't alter. So now that's got both in each side. Now we've got these carriers marked here. It's marked there. That one's marked. That's it. So these are bolts that hold the crown wheels on the VHs that we've accumulated over the years.
EH, what year would that be?
Oh, they're 64s, I think.
Jesus.
Now when we put that in there, this will rotate because I've had it together before. See that?
Yeah.
So you know you're within 5 thou doing it this way.
Yeah.
Naturally it'll rotate easier that way. You know we're within 5 thou because otherwise, if it rotated with that, you just keep on putting, it changes 5 to a 10. And then until it wants to lock up, it won't differentiate, you know then that you've gone too far. So you just go back to a 5 and you'll be right. You may have to, I put them on this side, down in this side here, to keep the cross central to the carrier. So anyway, so these are what we've got to send out to someone.
Okay.
Because I want him to check it to make sure everything's right. I think I'm doing it this way, but you've got to virtually measure the whole lot over a micrometer. Like I get some of these set of these clutches. You know how much you've got to machine out of these things.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to see, that's the same, that one. That's it. So what you've got to do is you put all the clutches on there, as I say, stationary one there, rotating, stationary, rotating one. That's another one, another stationary one. Well, you leave those, I know that they're 65 thou thick, those. The other one I did the other week was 66. So you've got to put all this shit and measure that with a micrometer, you see. Measure it there and add the 2 thicknesses of those. And then we'll use depth mics, you know, like a big mic. It's either that one or the other one. You take the measurement right, the measurement down with the clutches, and use a depth mic
Yes.
to measure everything inside there to know whether that's smaller or larger, so that you can approximately get it right with cutting shims. But by substituting and putting shims in there, putting these in, it proves beyond doubt that you got it right. You're not relying on measurements. You might add it all up incorrectly, you see. But this is a practical test to know for sure that it's exactly right.
Yes.
That is now within 5 thou, because these are virtually the same thickness of that. They're 1 thou thicker than those ones actually, so you're within 7 thou. So it's most likely, because it's tight, I split that in, took 3 thou out, it's within 5 thou of being exactly right. So they can confuse you at times, these bloody things. This part here, the side gear is lower than that. Sometimes in those carriers, in Nissan Patrols, they have a thrust washer that goes on here.
Yeah.
But these don't have a thrust washer because they never get past the clutch hub, because there's proof of it, you see. You put a steel rule there, you know, there's a what's his name, it's well lower. A little bit of slack there doesn't go past it either. You feel it, that it's sticking up, see?
Yeah.
This is higher. So anyway, that's how you got to do these bloody things.
Yeah.
So cut it off at that, and you can send him that. I'll give him that 5 thou shim. I'll trace some 10 thous out, and he can put that in. Give him a couple of these bolts. Get the thing apart to make sure it is exactly right.
Okay. On.
You're adding on to what we did before, aren't you?
That's what I'm going to do.
I had to cut those ears off because those ears were overlapping this counter ball. So on this clutch, this had half rounds, stationary clutch, but because it's got a stationary clutch here, it's not necessary to put them underneath there, you can put them here. They can't go anywhere, and that's not rotating, that's a non-rotating clutch. So you put them there. We know that this clutch is 65 thou thick and it's 60 deep, so it's sticking up 5 thou off that ridge. So it's not going to foul that washer. So all I've got to do is put this thing together, find out where I am, and it'll be right. Fucking thing. Here it is there. It's turned between centres, this thing.
Would you mark it to go only one way?
Chisel marks.
Like put it around 180 degrees different, will it run out of true?
Well, there's a possibility that could happen. They're relatively concentric, these things. I'll just get a couple of those 3/16 pins, because I won't be pulling this thing apart. Whack these in and cut them off later. Anyway, all we're going to do is whack these up. I know it'll work. I've had it all together with the yes. Right? It'll turn easy with this. It's within 5 thou, because I have another 5 thou shim in there. with these, using these ones, thing like that, you know, it took a bit of effort to make it differentiate. So all we're going to do now is put all the remaining bolt. Go and chop those off with the slipping blade. And we've got one more to do. So that's where you can fall into a trap, because I read the depth mic wrong. I was 20 thou out, instead of being 2.990, I wrote it down as 3.3 inches and 10 thou, 20 thou out. And that's why I took about 40 thou worth of shims, 20 each side. So this is all ready to go in a diff. You see this thing? This is a coarse spline one. So the standard one, this is all the same through here. Same there. These cross shafts, they're central to the carriers. These little banjo diffs. See, the same. But as I say, that's 100 thou narrower than this is 650. That was 550. So you've got a bit of leeway where you can have all that shit. The axles are not going to touch the side of the cross shaft. So anyway, we can send that to this fellow up in Queensland. That is it. See that out? It's a bit tight. Because I put several shim. See, it's firm. Well, you don't really want it like that. It's a bit too tight. You've got to put the bell washers in there. So there's a 5 thou shim in here, which I can take out to prove that that's all it needs for the final amount of shims. So we'll just take this lid off. I've only put them up this top end because we're only trying to gauge a distance. You know, you can split them in half next time, see? That one, like that, see? But anyway, these are 10, that's the 5. So what we can do, we'll get 5 out. Now, you can, so that they don't catch on anything, you can put these shims, just to prove it, just to gauge it there. I can't get caught, you see, on anything. And now, that one there. With the pin in there. Go in there. Wrap that in there. So it's turning now. Prove when that little shim was catching a bit. Can't look back. I'm pretty sure with this shim back in there, which we had it in there before, too tight. So what we do, so there's going to be no mistake, put it there, put that there, we'll do it again. But to be sure and sorry, this life.
Just say sorry, Dad.
So, see, it's very tight. Before. You can feel them grind, you know, very close together. It's just too tight. 5 things too tight, that's all. So there can be no mistake. So now we can do the final assembly. Leave that 10 thou out. Know in our own heart that where we're going. It's foolproof. Only a little tiny short spigot this. So you gotta, it's easier. So what we got here, so there's 2 10s and a 5. We'll leave that out and utilise these to change all these plates around. So we've got that one. Now we're going to put in a real these parts here, see? So I cut those off because they're going to fit up inside this counterboard, see? It's been counterboard, that face. How's that clucked? Because what we got, there, here, that one goes with that one. Take that one out. They're exactly the same thickness as those. That's the whole idea. So they're not very dish to in this particular limited slip. As you can see, when I put the dishes opposing one another, the gap in here, see that? If you put it around that way, the gap is there. Delivering very little thrust. But anyway, so we put that one down. Doesn't matter if you put it that way or that way. That has been that way, so it doesn't really matter. It's just still going to just deliver a thrust. You put this one on here. Now, I'm going to use these shims. So, we can put those shims so they go on here. Put that shim, rub that on the bench. That will go around that, see? So anyway, you put the shim, you can put that shim there. You can put the other side or that side. Should, probably best to put the other side first. We can centre it. what I've got here. I cut some of these shims. We know we just need 220. I'll use these other ones. I'll cut the guts out of these later. These ones here, they've got bigger balls cut in them. So I'll use these two. They're 10th out. Now, Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking tons of things to fucking put together. That was one painted. Rotating ears roughly in line there. This one goes down in there. It's got fully down. So this one is that way. You're a fucking surgeon to fuck around with this shit. Now, that one can go there because this counter ball is shallower than the thickness of that, so it doesn't matter if that was even to go over there. It won't foul. You put that one there. Now, that's the line. Get some more grease on this.
Ooh, I need to have a piss after those beers.
So, now to the bowl for washers in there, the preload washers should be, okay, it's turning. That's how it should be. It's back to how it was. We had 5,000 shim out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's there, it is there, you see.
Yep.
So all we've got to do, as I say, that's the secret, is to put just flat ones in. You know whether you're going too far or not enough. Within 5,000, that is. Anyway, we can loosen this off. Because I'm not going to put these pins in here. Now, sort them off later. 16th. So if you do it that way, using just flat ones, you can't go wrong because you can easily make mistakes. One of them I made a mistake with the depth mic. It was depth from here to the bottom. I wrote it down as 3 inches and 10 thou, and it wasn't. It was actually reading the depth mic back to front wrong. It was really 2.990, so I was 20 thou in my calculations out, but I arrived back at it with the shims, proving it with the shim system. I think I got all these measurements on this table near the lathe actually. Gives a look, I'll go and get it. Bring it over. Paperwork. Just use depth mics and micrometers.
Should you use that long vernier?
That carrier, the depth of that carrier, the long half, was 2 inches 990. I made them blue, writing down 3 inches and 10 thou on one of the carriers, but I proved it beyond doubt that it's correct because I put the shims in it, see? So that's the spigot depths, minus that. This is the clutches, 3 inches, so that minus that, you're left with 70 thou. So, because I put the depth mic in and to see how high everything was in relation to where the side gears go, it was 20.
It's back to front, isn't it?
20 thou difference. So,
how you read it?
So the small one needed 20 off it. That left bloody 50, so 25 there and 25 flat. Face 25 thou off the other. They're in the relative central position. But because the cross shaft in these limited slips is 100 thou thinner than this. This is 650. In this, it's we're going to get this apart to drill holes here, actually. But so probably you just shut that off. I'll cut these off. Cut them pins off with the grinder, but we've got to drill holes in it so that you definitely get a big flood of oil inside this thing. So it won't take long. But I wanted to explain something else to the viewer. Yeah, that one. Lifting up a bit high that side. Anyway, it's off now. So what I did, red, that's it. Right. Shut me fucking level, the pricks won't come out. What you got to do is you get to know that this is central to this housing. You got to measure from here 1.344, and this one 1.3. 375. longer, that one, than this one. We can put all the shims down one side. Just want to put it on this flat bar here. 352, 355, and they're the same. So that bench is all buckled. But anyway, so what we're going to do here is drill these holes. Now, so if we go over to the drilling machine, we don't have to record anymore. So, that's the important thing to do, is just to compare 1.340, 349, it's only 10 thou difference. You get 100 thou the plate, it can be 50 thou out one way, the cross shaft, because this is 100 thou bigger than the thickness of that cross. So anyway, I drilled a couple of holes in this thing to make sure that plenty of oil bits can get inside it, you see. There's a bit of a rub with a file in there. There's no burrs in there. A bit of blow out over there. So that's alright. So we can finally put this thing together. We've got one shim there. That one. So the arrangements are that one. Clutches in line here, the ears sit down inside those half rounds. So we just jiggle them around here to centralise them. Tell when it goes right there and you can see it. Anyway, that's the correct one, because it's got the mark there, see? Now this prick goes down, you've got to gingerly, let's lower it down.
Gingerly. Ginger lolly.
So, that. So, stationary one, a rotating one, stationary one, rotating, that. As I say, you can put this one here, doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be underneath that one, because even if it was to go over, right over to that side, this ledge won't interfere with it, because that sticks up high. This is 65 thou, and that's been bored out about 50 thou or something, 45 thou. So we've got that there. Now, that. Still turn around just like it did before.
Mm.
It's within 5 thou. So it's another one out of the way. So we'll just Loctite all these bolts in, pull them 2 out, and for the others will Loctite it in. They'll be done. We've got 3 here now. Should chop them off. Pins in that one. Well, they're already in actually. They're all coarse spline Holden banjos, those ones.
Mm.
But as I say, you can easily make a mistake with the depth mic, although the very first one we've done, I know I didn't make a mistake because I've measured the carrier at 2.990. I made them blue on this one, I think it was. And
Fine.
took the wrong measurement, 20 thou wrong, 3 inches and 10 thou. That's why I had to shim this one up. I think it was that one or that one there, yeah. So, but the ultimate test is you've got to go through it with the shim system and these flat washers. So all we've got to do is send these away.
Yeah.
You can, I'll bore the centre parts out of these 2. Cut them out a bit better. And we can send that to this bloke in Queensland. He can check it himself. You've got another one there. Those 2 are correct. Only that one actually. Alright, well, you find the postal note, which should have insurance on it now for that one in Queensland. He's a couple of 100 k's north of Brisbane, I reckon.
Okay.
Because we sent it out, it's like $70 with insurance, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright, you don't need that on anymore.